Well, hello, y'all.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
We got five
Yeah,
sisters live this
everybody.
morning.
All
Five
right, well, let me
sisters
do
live.
this. Let me take Ebony out for a second. We'll be right back, Ebony.
Be back, Ebony. All right, that's what happens. Hey, Dante, wherever you are.
We need you.
Right.
Yeah, we got Peggy at the helm, but it's all good. It's all God.
We
What's
here.
up, ladies?
We got this ship going.
We got this ship going, child. Don't y'all worry about it. I love it. You like it? I love it.
Yes, good
Absolutely.
morning,
So,
good
good
afternoon.
morning, good afternoon. It's
Good
all
morning.
good. It's all God. I'm Wyoming,
I'm Peg.
I'm Linda.
And I'm Dr. Marty.
and we are still
For
4SistersLIVE.
Sisters Alive.
I love it. Yay. It's a
Oh,
No
great
matter
day.
what.
No matter
no
what.
matter
We know
what.
Charlene is out today, and we got the lovely, the wonderful, the awesome Miss Dr. Marty K. Casey.
Yay.
Yay.
I love
You hear it? My sister.
I love coming in as a substitute sister. You hear me?
Girl, look.
Blessing. It's such a blessing to be back with family always.
Yeah, it was lovely
Always.
having you. It's all good. And
Yes,
everything you're
always.
doing, we know you're doing great things. We're going to get into that. So, Peggy and Lynn, how y'all doing?
Good,
Doing
good, good, good.
okay on this
Good.
beautiful cloudy day.
I know, but what can we say? It
It's
is what it
okay.
is. It's okay because look, it could be worse than this. You know what I
Yeah,
Yes.
mean?
you kind of
So
relaxes you, makes you don't want to do anything.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But now we were out last week, and I think when we were out, it seems like we just
I
miss each
know.
other like all this time. Like, where y'all been? What y'all been doing? We got to catch up. There's
Gotta
Yeah.
so much
catch
is
up.
happening. So much can happen within a week
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Within a
Oh, yeah.
day.
and a day. It's a
In an
lot,
hour,
girl. I
in
mean,
a
it's a lot.
second.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. I posted the other day. I said a lot is going on at the same time.
At the same
A
At the
time,
lot.
same
yes.
time, it's just a lot of
Yes.
that we have to do, and we look up. It's like another day, and it's a great. I always say it's a great God day because God is great, and it's
God is
always
good.
good to see it, and He's
Real
good.
good.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? So we have to just cherish the moments and live it the best that we can, and how we can. And so I just think we're just moving along because hey, we almost out of June. We looked up the other week. We said, hey, it's June 1st. I'm like, damn, excuse me, it's at the end of June. We at the end of June. It's like, oh my
It's,
God,
I
that's
can't
how
believe it.
time flies. But that
It
just
has,
shows you how time really moves.
it just
Yes,
zoomed
yes.
by. The time is just speeding up, it seemed like. Oh my
It is.
goodness.
It really is. And so we're here at the first. Well, this is the first week of the summer. That's interesting. This way, you know how the weather is different now. It is global warming situation because it's seasons. Not even the seasons that we're talking about. What God has given us is summer. It ended up being during this spring, almost fall.
Yeah.
Right.
Just the way it
It
looks,
has cooled
and so
down.
it was
Yes.
cooled down, been in the
Mm-hmm.
60s and things like that. So, Marty, I knew you in California. Was it in the 60s in California?
Oh, it was so beautiful. That weather was so beautiful. If I could have packed it in my bag and brought it back to St. Louis, I sure would have. I, I got off the plane last night in St. Louis and got so hot so instantly. I said, "Oh no, I need to go back to Cali."
The
It was
humidity. Yes, you didn't have the humidity probably.
absolutely. And but you know what? Why back to what you said about time. I want to just say I have reached that age, and I don't know if all of you all have experienced this, but I reached the age now where time is more valuable to
Whew.
me than money.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
hear you.
I
That's so
didn't know
true.
that that was possible, but it
Mm-hmm.
really is. And
It
Yeah.
is.
once you understand that in your mind, your body, and spirit, that
Mm-hmm.
time is more valuable than money, you start living life differently.
You
You
start
Differently.
seeing things differently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
yeah.
do.
I protect those no's. Like if somebody invite me to go somewhere and I think about how long it's gonna be, no, thank you. I feel like I done saved $1,000.
I was telling somebody about you have to be intentional about what you want to do.
That's
You
right.
really do.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's right.
correct.
You have to be very intentional
Because
about
you'll get off
everything.
track very easy because
You'll
there's
get off
so
track.
much going on.
There's a
Yeah.
lot
And
going
everyone
And
on.
you
is
know, the most
pulling at
important
you.
thing is that we have to realize in life is our season. All of us on here is our season.
Mm-hmm.
protect our space and time.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We
it.
really
Yes.
do. So
Yeah.
what is important to me might not be important to Y.
Right.
What's important to Y, it might not be important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Full circle all the way around. So we're blessed to be here another day. I'm like, okay, today is what? Today is Saturday. We good.
Love it.
Yeah, well, speaking of another day and a lot going on, I know we missed Juneteenth, and this was the week that we knew was celebrating everything in the month of June and Juneteenth. So, how did you all celebrate Juneteenth? And I think we talked about what does it mean to you, and I think we really kind of went through this whole conversation to understand that we as a people, living life now. Where are we? Are we free?
Kinda.
Yeah. It's all in the mindset. If you
Mhm.
think
Yeah,
you
it's
think
all
you're
in your
free, you're
mind,
free.
and you're
Okay.
right. But kinda, the America's still trying and still successfully controlling people. They're controlling so many things that we do, where we go, what we see, what we read, what we do with our bodies. You know, you kind of wonder, are you really free?
Yeah.
Not really in America,
Yeah.
because there's so much greed and so much control and the politics that control everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe we're interacting daily around traps, right?
Yes.
But I do
Yeah.
feel like we are free to move around, but you have to know where those traps are set. And so you have to really be intentional and cautious about how you move and what you do. And so to Peggy's point, it's in the mindset of you understanding where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do and where those traps are set. Be mindful of that and steadfast.
Focus.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, Peggy. You're going to say something?
No, I'm good.
No, I agree with that. It's all in the mind. It's all of that. It's how we treat what we're doing and treating each other.
Yeah.
Where are we within our spirit, within our souls? And how do we move about as we begin to be our own persons individually and collectively? You know what I mean? Because you're doing your thing so well, Dr. Marty. Peggy's doing her thing, and Linda and myself, we're doing things far more than we could have ever even imagined we could be doing years ago. So we've come a long way in that respect. Women are doing what we do as Black women, and I think we should be proud of the monumental
very much so.
steps that we've made, the plateaus that we've reached, and things like that. You know what I mean? So being free, yes, it has cost us.
Yeah.
I believe it has cost our men more than anything, that freedom, because seem as though the freedom is always being tried and to be taken away from our men. So I think the focus is on the men. They let the women, get by. We fight and we focus and we multitask all the time. But I just feel there's so much pressure on our men.
Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely. All the time. You just say, go ahead, Dr. Marty.
I was just going to say, I just don't want anybody to wait for things to be perfect before they start moving and doing the necessary things. So no matter how you label this, as if you feel like you're free or not right now, you better move like you are.
Right.
That is true. You got to still move. You got to move. You got to make things happen, and you got to live life. And you got to be, again, when I said intentional about what you're going to do now more than ever. And I believe when we have each other to support, and I think we have that. We are getting through some things. We have a long way to go, but I believe we're in a good space. We're in good spaces, So we have to, again, stand. They say, stand up for your rights.
Yes.
So sorry. Look, but we do want to celebrate a few people. And I know they had a lot of great celebrations out there, via the media and concerts and recognitions and awards and things like that. So that is so wonderful. We can recognize people doing great things in the community. We had one of our own, Dr. Unia Pattis Jones. She was awarded with the Presidential Award We wanted
Yeah,
to
it's
use
the
her.
it was the Joseph R. Biden Lifetime Achievement Awards and Presidential Volunteer Service Recognition ceremony, which I did attend, and because three of my sorors, which she's one, was a recipient, and also our very own Angel Rich. She
Yes,
also,
Angel.
right,
Yeah.
Angel received an award, and had Reverend Montel Williams. You can do it, you know that song.
This is how we
He
do it.
received, yeah. He received an award, and also Lindia Grant. She
Okay.
said,
Yeah.
she
Very good
received an
friend of
award
yours,
as
Linda,
well.
right?
So it
Yeah.
was so many. Another gentleman from my class of '68 received an award. Donald, Reverend Donald, I can't think of his last name, but yeah, it was so many people that you got to see, and that was really my first Juneteenth ceremony or program going to. So I really enjoyed it. It was a wonderful recognition with it was about 50 persons that were recognized. So it was a long ceremony, but it was really good.
That's the award that's above my head right now, if you will.
Yeah.
That's this right here.
Okay.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yeah. You
Beautiful.
that as well.
Yes. That was my first.
That's so great. So yeah, great. Oh wow, that is just an opportunity to receive something of that is a wonderful. I mean, to be cherished forever and ever. So congratulations to you too, Dr. Marty. On
Thank
receiving
you.
the President's Award.
Congratulations.
You received yours for community service. What was this for? Yes.
It's the same thing for Ungun Institute, and I received that and was awarded it in Dallas, Texas. Not here in St. Louis. Yeah, my ceremony was in Dallas, Texas, but it's with Joseph R. Biden, who signed it. And yes, Lifetime Presidential Award. I came on here to talk about it. That was last year.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. So we also have to talk about Black Music Month. This June is definitely Black Music Month, and this is our last week to celebrate that. And there's so many wonderful, awesome icons out there. It's just endless to even mention. But I know we have been honoring a few of the recording artists in music this month. We didn't get to do it last week, of course, but today, did anyone have anyone that they specifically want to acknowledge? Because we focused on one, but let's try to see who want to put something out there today to recognize and honor today. Who you have, Peg? Because you ready to go.
you know for a fact my favorite is Smokey Robinson. To see this man, and I think he's 82, 83, and to move the way he moves, that's God. Nobody but God, I tell you. Because I had the opportunity to go to see the show down at the MGM, and he went all the way down. I mean, on his knees, and stood there for about good 10 minutes and was holding a conversation with the audience.
Oh my.
And was able to come back up like ain't nothing to it. So I salute
amazing
Smokey.
All right. Who do you have, Dr. Marty?
You know what? This may be a little controversial right now, but my favorite is Anita Baker.
Oh,
and
I'll take that.
I will be seeing Anita Baker this Friday in Chicago. I'm going to see her, and this is her last tour, go around. And I say that in a way because we know behind the scenes there's been some things being talked about of what is happening because it's trauma. Let me just tell you, trauma will show up, and when individuals deal with trauma, it shows up in different ways. And I do believe, to a certain extent, she's dealt with a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
But musically, the lady is a genius. Yes. And I love just her as not just a singer and a performer, but more so a writer. She has written for a lot of people, and a lot of folks don't even know that about Anita Baker and how she has poured into pieces of music down through the history of it. And so I'm very excited to see her and to honor her in that way.
Amen to that.
Right.
So Len, who do you have?
Well, I have to say Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's always been my favorite group. you know, and I just remember the days when my girlfriend and I, Peaches, we used to always go to all the concerts and go be on the first, second row and just have a ball. And it just the experience of that group and the messages that they gave, those messages are still with us. So yes, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, well,
Good one.
great. Well, I'm going to just go in another genre, but it's all a good stuff because these sisters have really paved the way. They've been out there for years. They are history. And I'm talking none other than the Clock Sisters.
I thought
I'm
you were
going to
going to
go
say that.
gospel.
Yes, and gospel.
We have to honor our gospel artists.
Yes.
They are in a whole different lane now. They're moving in other areas that wouldn't have been taboo years ago. They would not dare tipped over to R&B.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have dared tipped over to other areas outside of what they were out doing as it relates to their music and into the gospel realm. So they really opened the floodgates of how they can now touch people in so many ways, but be who they are with what they're doing with their music. So these sisters are bad. They are awesome.
Still bad.
And they still got it like that. And
Right.
I just honor them because they've been tried and true, you know, to everything, and everyone has embraced them, and other gospel artists as well, Kirk Franklin and Yolanda Adams, and you know, all the other gospel artists that we've had out there. So I think we just kind of give them their flowers too, you know. So
yes,
you know what? Why I actually have had all three of them in my stage plays. Karen, Twinkie, and Dorinda have been in one of my stage plays at some point in time, and it's been a pleasure working with each of them. A Twinkie, it just goes without saying, she is just like entertaining an angel on earth. She really is. And Karen, when I tell you, she gonna bring the thunder. All you got to do is just give her a mic, and she gonna take it all. She gonna take the house down.
Oh yeah.
And Dorinda, out of all of them, really has a very down to earth spirit. You know, I remember picking her up from the airport, and I said, "What would you like to eat before we take you to the hotel?" She said, "Honey, get me to the nearest Popeyes." So, you know, I just love that. So to your point of how they are and they deserve their flowers, they really, really do, because they've learned how to just embrace everybody through music, but never, ever did they compromise who they were.
Yeah. And they got it. They really still have it. I'm telling you, they're seasoned. They're not talking about seniors. They're a seasoned. And I respect that, because it doesn't matter when you're getting older that you got to stop. You know,
that's right.
You gotta just like go somewhere and just kind of curl up and say, "Hey, this is it for me. I'm gonna retire." No, you keep it moving, because and as long as you got your breath and your gift and talent, you share it with others. And we'll say this and we can move on. But we were at the concert last night, and of course, Babyface was in town, and Charlie Wilson. It was an awesome concert. And I plugged them too. And of course, I'll say salute my son, who is the drummer for Babyface.
Reggie.
Yeah. It was a great but I'm saying all this to say I salute the Charlie Wilson and Babyface, because they talk about their age and they are moving. Babyface say, "Hey, I'm still doing this. I didn't know I could be moving like this at 65."
Right.
So Charlie Wilson came right behind him and said, "You know what? A Babyface said he's 65. I'm gonna let y'all know I'm 70."
Wow.
And so they are still moving. I'm saying that to say that these artists are continuing to give us the gifts that God has given
longevity
them. And longevity. So and now we have our youth generation out there is coming behind them, but they're standing on the shoulders of all of them who have paved the way for them. So salute and kudos to all of our artists at a Black Music Month. It's endless, but we just picked out a few. Just a few. Just a few. So other things in news, we had Father's Day. God, June.
Oh, yes.
Father's Day. Happy Father's, belated Father's Day. My dad is no longer here, but I feel him in my heart, my spirit every time, every day, but especially during this time. So yes, happy Father's Day to all that celebrate their dad. Your dad is still here, Dr. Marty?
No, my father is not.
Okay. Yes, I think all our dads have passed on, but you know what? He lives still in us, right? And smiling down. So so now, and it's also Pride Month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's Pride Month too. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things have really been. I mean, this has been opened up. Do y'all remember Pride Day when Mayor Barry used to have Pride Day? You remember that, Lynn?
I don't.
Yes, it was a big thing.
I never
Pride
went to the parade. I guess we talk about the parade and
Yes,
everything.
Pride.
I
Well, we
never
had the
attended
Pride.
the
Yeah,
parade.
down at the waterfront down in Southwest for
Okay.
years and years. But that's a whole nother conversation. But this is Pride Month. Yeah, he recognized Pride Month years and years ago, and so we are again here celebrating that. So yeah, we definitely we recognize
This is
everything.
June is a busy
June
month.
is a busy
Because you have
month.
graduations, you have the weddings, but most importantly, the graduations.
Yes, and we salute those. Yeah,
Did
the
we have
proms.
any
Yeah,
graduates?
all the yes. So we want to congratulate all of our
All the
2023
graduates.
grads are all out there now, and so it's a lot. It's exciting.
Yes, for all you graduates who just stuck it, just kept going, and you did it.
You did the doggone thing.
Walked across the stage. Yeah.
Yes.
So continue to toot that horn, Len, because it's birthday time. Who had a birthday? Oh, whose birthday, Len?
Oh my God, we got
Peggy,
quite a few.
Who we got? Who we got?
We have Kashelle Harvey, Wanda Washington, Alicia Anderson, Lloyd Dorsey, Diamond Petty. Hey, Diamond. Joyce Nerio, and Dr. Morgan Bird, celebrating in the month of June.
All right.
Happy birthday, my sister.
Birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, everybody. And I still will shout out my sister.
We have Michael here, so we'll just do
Yeah, we got it going on. I still shout out my sister Tippy. She's still celebrating her birthday. Her birthday was last week, but you know.
Oh, happy birthday.
Still gonna say happy birthday to Tippy, Miss Sweet Potato Pie Lady. And my nephew, my great nephew, had a birthday. Both of them had birthdays. So yeah, we just gonna celebrate all the families out there. So happy birthday to all of you.
I'm shouting out my mother, which June 17th, and then my stepson the next day, the 18th.
All right.
Oh, really?
Beautiful.
That is wonderful. So cool, beans. So Peggy, what do you have? Oh yeah, you got you got some celebrity birthdays. Yes.
We have our history and celebrity birthdays for the end of June. We have Lena Horne. She's born on the 30th. That's 1917. Actress, singer, activist. We have photographer James Van Der Zee. He was born in 1886. Stokely Carmichael, a civil rights activist, born in 1941. We have Samuel J. Battle. He became the first African-American policeman in New York City. How about that, y'all? We have we have Paul Laurence Dunbar, poet and novelist, born in 1873. And last but not least, Bernard Harris Jr., the first African-American to walk in space. And he was born 1956.
Wow, beautiful.
Wow, awesome. That's good. So Peggy, what's going on in the community?
Oh, look, I'm just like, we've been coasting. And let me share this. I did experience last Saturday, had the opportunity to go to Martin's Crosswinds. They had the Black Door Society. The first time I've ever heard of them here in Prince George's County. Yeah. And it's a group of women who salute men and women entrepreneurs. And they honored about 6 individuals, and it was awesome.
Is this where the governor's wife was a part of?
Yes, she was a part of it. Deborah Harrington is a good friend of mine, was honored. It was simply gorgeous. So, yes, that's my salute to these women.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That is so awesome. But so, yeah, I know you were saying that was part of the community experience you went through, and that's really good. So, Lynn, what did you do? Did you go out to do anything? Because you had your sorority event, did you not?
Yes. Oh, my class reunion.
Yeah, see, I know more than you do.
You do so much, you forget.
I know, that is true.
That was a busy day. Yeah, we had, but yes, 55 years I've been out of high school.
Wow.
Eastern High. Yes.
Yes.
So we had our class reunion, and it was a wonderful event. And got to see so many of us old dudes and old girls. And we're looking good. We are looking good and still doing great things. So yes, Eastern High, class of 68. That was it was fun.
So you were class of 68 and I was class of 69.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, that's just telling us something, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This is a conversation later between you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the oldest.
I was just born.
I wasn't even thought about.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Yes.
good. It's
But
all
Dr.
good.
Marty, tell us what you've been working on, because I'm ready to show this
really
slide,
got
honey.
some stuff. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, let me just tell you, this week I had to take a break. I did some self-care. I was very intentional, and I went out of town with my daughter, my only child, and my grandson. And while I'm telling you, it was exactly what I needed, is what the doctor ordered, to reset. Because I do a lot in the community with Ungun Institute, helping others to disarm from trauma. So trauma is transferable. So when we take on other people's stories and showing up for them, and we have to really, really be very, very intentional about our own self-care. And I just felt my mind and my body saying, you need to unplug.
Yeah.
Or disconnect. Disconnect means that you can't get any juice. Nobody can get anything to you, and you can't get anything from anybody. But it's okay to unplug. Unplugging means right now, I just need to just do me. I need to just feel the juices coming back to me specifically. So that's what I did. But here in the city of after 6 weeks of working in the schools as the first Black woman with an anti-gun violence program, I won the bid for St. Louis Public Schools, and I'm excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We had a successful 6 weeks of working with these babies in 10 different schools at the same time. It was a lot, but I wanted to make sure that I pulled those messages, that what we were teaching on the inside, which is our Stop, Breathe, Think campaign, that we were able to bring it to the outside. So I am happy to announce that we were able to get some media coverage on it through billboards. And in doing so, we have over 24 billboards up in the city of St. Louis right now that looks just like this. They're spinning all over the city. And the comments and the messaging that in the phone calls that we're receiving, other people calling from other cities saying, how can we get this billboard up in our city? And if you see in the background there, you see the cityscape of St. Louis with the St. Louis Arch. We are able to, if they put it up in another city, we will be able to put their cityscape in the background. So these boards can be made specifically to go. This messaging is positive. Stop, breathe, think. We want everybody to remember to just simply stop, breathe, and think. Like we said, if your body caught on fire, to stop, drop, and roll. Well, we want you to, when your mind feels like it's on fire, we want you to stop, breathe, and think, so you can respond to your trauma in a way that it protects you and it protects others around you. Because when we don't do that, we just react, but we need you to respond. And I also need you all to understand that trauma is not an event. It is a response. Trauma is not an event. It is a response. And so how do you need to respond to what you're feeling in that moment? So that is the reason that we have this positive messaging out, and it's going all over the world.
Let me show it again.
Well, that is so
Finally.
neat.
God, this is wonderful.
Stop, breathe, think. That is awesome.
Stop,
Yes,
breathe,
it can
think.
save a life. It can truly save a life. It can save your life, and it can save other lives around you. And so we're excited about that, to partner with Outfront Media, who has come in, and really blessed us to have 24 of these boards. We have billboards and posters and what they call the flip boards, and so the electronic boards all throughout the city of St. Louis.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, that's good. Well, we need that all over the world. That posters, because people, we're visual people, so we need to see things. When you see it, it captures your eye, And from when it captures your eye, then it starts getting into your spirit. It starts giving you something to really think about. And it's really something that people can do. You really can do it.
You can.
You know, and that could
If
save
you
a
really
life.
want to be the change, you will do it.
Absolutely.
And if you really want to protect your family, and if you really want to protect your friends and your neighbor, you know, these things are happening to our family, friends, neighbors everywhere. So if they just look up, and you know, that's the old-fashioned way of getting the word out. So I really like that, the billboards, because you remember the day when you traveling on the road and you saw those big billboards. As a kid, I remember you're in the back seat, and that's what you saw.
Yeah.
All
remember the Jesus billboards? You all seen the Jesus billboards? I remember going through something one time, and it was just rolling in my head as I was riding down the highway, and I looked up and I saw the Jesus billboard. In that moment, it reminded me to let it all go.
Right.
That this was not anything I needed to hold on to. I needed to turn it over. And so we're hoping that our billboard signage does the same thing. Can you imagine someone riding in that moment with a loaded gun, ready to go and do something?
That's what I was going to say.
That billboard, and that it can turn
them around. I was going to say that can be the moment of them doing or not doing.
Right.
You know, that can be the moment of them making a decision, of them thinking that they were going to go do something that they will regret. And so that looking at that, Dr. Marty, could give people hope.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it really
they'll
could give
see it
people hope.
often, just like they see their phones often. They'll see that every time they pass it.
I hope you could put that out in other other medium, that you can do that too, because it needs to be seen.
That's an alert.
We'll take that. We'll take that. That's good. Because you know how many people drive by and see this for days and days and every day.
And especially because you don't see that as many billboards with positive messages like that. It's usually an advertisement of something to buy. This right here is something different,
like cigarettes or liquor,
alcohol, or
beer, alcohol,
place to stay. You know, so this will get their attention.
Thank you all so much, and thank you, 4 Sisters Live, for allowing this to be a platform to announce this. Because if there's somebody out there listening and saying, you know what, I have access to a billboard, or I want to purchase a billboard for our city, you all allowing that to be said here today, I appreciate you so much.
Well, you're keeping it out there. That's wonderful.
Yes.
So, Peggy, what else is happening? Because we have a guest that I know that is, because today is our entrepreneurs segment.
Yes.
And we're talking about all things entrepreneur, and women and men as well. But women is our Sisters for Sisters network. We're filled with a lot of women. It's full of women who are doing their own thing, their own boss.
Yes.
And I think that's a great thing, because we come together in the way it's so strategically set up, is that we all help each other to support one another in your endeavors of your business. And that is what you have for 4 Sisters Live is one of the platforms, one of these ways that Peggy has so wonderfully put together in 4 different areas that is so wonderfully needed. And it is. It's really needed for us to talk about, and to the reach, And so we're reaching, and you networking and say women helping women to connect. Is what we've been doing.
What we do so well.
What we do so well.
Right. Yeah.
What does it say, Lynn?
I was just going to say, just get on your social media and start connecting. Let them know we're on. And come and see the message for today.
Yeah.
It's a very important message that we're going to share today. We don't want the family to miss it. So please go out. Just do 4 people. If everybody who's on, check out 4 people, look on your social media, send it out to your people.
Because we definitely have someone coming on and doing some great things. That's doing great things. What you gonna say, Peg?
No, I'm just so excited to have Ebony to come on board. Ebony, I met her through my partnership with the Bi-County Business Roundtable here in Prince George's County. And so I'm always wanting to know what our sisters are doing and how they're adding value to the community. And when I met Ebony at one of our breakfasts, I just fell in love with her. I said, oh, you got to be connected to what we do. I pull them in. I don't care if you don't like it, you don't like it, but I'm pulling you in because you're adding value to our conversation. So I want to bring Ebony Gibson in. Come on, Eb. There she is.
Hi, Ebony.
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Welcome to 4Sisters
Welcome.
Live.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, Ebony, take a moment and, as I mentioned, our platform is very open. Like we're sitting in our living room having this serious conversation. But this segment is entrepreneurship. And I was taken back on what you're doing. You are actually the CEO and founder of Can I Grieve LLC and Can I Grieve University.
Yes.
Come on and share, honey. Tell us what you're doing.
Yes. So in October of 2021, I decided to launch Can I Grieve LLC. And Can I Grieve was inspired by the personal loss of my mother. She transitioned in 2017. Wasn't anything that I could prepare for or expected. It was just super random, you know. Also during that time, we had lost some more family members, but that was also during the time of the pandemic. So for my grandfather in specific, I wasn't even able to attend his service because of those restrictions that COVID had, and my grandparents live in Jamaica. So it was definitely even more strict over there. And so just with my personal losses with the pandemic, I really just wanted to create a safe space for people to be encouraged, to inspire, and really what we focus on is education, just educating people about grief and the process. And, you know, the things that you're experiencing, they are normal, but if you don't have that education piece, that can hold you stagnant from moving forward, because you may feel like, I'm not getting anywhere. It's been a year. It's been 2 years. And this is just loss in general. Even though I specialize in loss of a loved one, if you don't have that proper training and education, like I said, it can hold you back. And so, yeah, that is Can I Grieve? And I expanded with the university. When I first launched, we were just doing clothing like t-shirts and hoodies, and people loved it. They loved the message, like, yes, I can grieve, you know. And so from there, we launched Can I Grieve University, which is just an extension, but that's where we really do the coaching, the education, and the fundraising and different community outreach events.
Wonderful. That's what I'm talking about.
That's so needed. That is wonderful. That really is.
Wow.
Dr. Marty, yeah, that's good. I mean, Dr. Marty, I think you deal with a lot of these situations, even through Ungun. And I think this is a good opportunity for this collaboration in terms of another connection that could be made, because I think this is perfect.
This is so perfect. I'm telling you, every time I come on here,
there's a connection.
It's a connection beyond anything I could ever imagine. Just first of all, kudos to you, Ebony, for just even being willing to be so transparent about your own personal grief. But what I am really impressed with, which is what we are intentional about in Ungun, is that we take the emotional tragedy, if you will, and we create the medicine that's needed for us to continue to go on.
Yes.
And that's what you were able to do, young lady. You said, you know what, I understand. I'm traumatized right now, and I'm going through something emotionally right now, but I also understand I'm not the only one. So rather for me to just sit in my sorrow and deal with it from that space, let me create and open it up so we can gather others, and we begin to grieve together, and we begin to heal together. Because my tagline is hurt people, and healed people heal people. You decided to be in the space of healing so that you can help others to heal. Ebony, I'm just so I'm over here standing, giving you a standing ovation as I'm sitting in this seat, honey. Yes. That is amazing. Yes. And so many people can use this. Everyone can, because surely as we are born, we must die.
Yeah.
When you asked me earlier, is my father still alive? I was going to say something and I didn't, I reserved to say it then, but I want to say it now. No, my father is not alive. And my father was actually, I was on the phone with his doctor when my father took his last breath. My father lived in California and I was his next of kin. They were calling to let me know that my father had signed. And this is part of what you would be teaching, Ebony, in this university part of what you do. They told me that my father had signed that he would only be resuscitated once. And they called to let me know they've already done that. And so if my father heart was to give out again, then unfortunately they would have to pronounce him dead. See, we don't, on the other side of that, we don't understand those things unless somebody explain it, right?
Explain it.
I had to go through it in order to learn that. And so as I'm talking to the doctor and he's telling me this, they called a code blue. And in that moment, the doctor had to basically disregard the code blue, and they had to allow my father's death to then be announced. I'm on the phone hearing it. And my father was in California and I'm in St. Louis. And I said to the doctor, he says, Miss Casey, I'm so sorry. I said, I already heard it. I said, I will get there as quick as I can. And it took me 2 days to get there to do the work. But like you said, if we don't know what comes afterward, how do you think I mentally was dealing with that for 2 days?
Right.
Because I was stuck in the moment of hearing my father take his last breath. I didn't even know what to do next.
Yeah, I want to know what are the steps, not to interrupt you, just want to hear from Ebony. What are the steps that we should take? Is there, you have the university, so tell our audience, what are your steps that we should take when death happens?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think first, people have to understand, and this is why the education piece is so important. People have to understand that no one person grieves the same. Just as we all have different fingerprints, grief is literally the same way. No one person will ever grieve the same. I know a lot of you mentioned none of you guys' father are still here. You guys have experienced the same type of loss, but Dr. Marty, your experience will not be Peggy's experience, and vice versa, even if it's the same type of loss. And so I think that's first the basis, just understanding that no one person will grieve the same. And I think it's also important for people to show empathy, right? Because sometimes we think that we are helping somebody out when we say we know what you've been through, or I've been through, that too, but you haven't, because you have not had the same experience that I had. And the relationship, is different. The relationship I had with my mother is different than the relationship you had with your mother. So sometimes people can think that they're, doing well and saying well, but really it's coming off the wrong way. But to answer your question, there are no steps. There is a model out there where it talks about the 5 stages of grief, but that was based off people that were in hospice in their last stages. So that's not really accurate, but then it goes back to no one person grieves the same. So there are no steps. Everybody's journey looks different. There's just different things that you can do to heal along the way, and people always say it gets easier with time, but I don't believe it gets easier with time. I just believe we become better, as people, because we have no other option. Our loved one isn't coming back. So the only thing that we can do is figure out how to move forward now that I've experienced this loss.
Wow. So powerful.
So you turn your passion of the pain, you turned your pain into a purpose. Let me say
Yes.
that.
Absolutely. I have a quote that I always say, and I stand behind it. Everything in life that happens to us, it's not it's happening to us physically, but it's not for us, So everything that I go through in life, good or bad, I understand that it was supposed to happen, or one, God would have never allowed it to happen. But two, it's not like I experienced this loss, but I don't believe it's supposed to go in vain. I believe there was a bigger purpose behind it, because why else would I experience this type of loss? At such a young age. I was only 22. She literally passed 2 days before my 23rd birthday. And so with that, I just feel like it happened to me. there's nothing I can do about it. So why not empower other people? Because one of the things that really helped me along the way was my support system, my family and friends. I had a lot of support, and some people don't have that support. And I understood that once I experienced grief, because I had never lost anybody close to me at all. So for my mother to be the first person that I lost, and just having that experience, like I said, and that support, I also understand the other side of it. Everybody doesn't always have family and friends to support them, and that could stagnate the process too. And so that's where the motivation kind of comes from, to support other people. And like you said, turning your pain into purpose, right? We all have options in life, right? And we could either just not get back up when we get knocked down, or we can get back up. And I'm just one of those people where I'm going to get back up.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Ebony, let's do this. Take a moment and talk about the services that you provide. I'm going to bring up this slide and you can work from that.
Okay. Yeah. And so we provide grief coaching. I'm a certified grief coach. I went through an excellent program, a native in DC. I'm not sure if you guys heard of her, Dora Carpenter, but she's amazing. She has an amazing grief coaching program. And so I got certified through that. But we provide one-on-one grief coaching. So it's kind of personalized, it's just a one-on-one thing, which, different things work for different people. So then we also have a group session where obviously it would be more than one person in a session, but it's typically for 8 weeks. And during that time, we get to have like open discussions, and you also get the opportunity to be in community, whereas on one-on-one, it's just me and you, and so I have those options because, again, everybody's teaching style and preference is different. But then I also understand that not all the time do people like commitments, right? Some people might just want to come, I need somebody to talk to, and that's where we have vent sessions. And then we also have leadership development. So that is for people who are in leadership positions. I don't know if you know, grief is experienced everywhere, but especially when it comes to the workplace, companies lose billions of dollars every year just with the transition and just these companies not really knowing how to support the employees the best way. And so we provide that type of training also to community leaders. And I'm looking to create some type of agenda or program for people who are in churches, right? Because a lot of times there are bereavement ministries, but it's just flowers and a card and no real support after that. And so I'm looking to create a program so that people can volunteer from the bereavement ministry and be able to host these support groups, but have the education and the training with it, because I actually went through a support group through my church, but not everybody has that option. And then lastly, we do community outreach. So I've worked with the youth, different nonprofits in the DC, I'm in the DMV area, where I work with them to support them with their social and emotional skills. But then I also do grief presentations and different things like that. And then lastly, we do different fundraisers. So my mother, she passed away. She had a heart attack in her sleep. So I'm really passionate about heart disease. I had my heart checked, all of that stuff. And yeah, we do different fundraisers. So in February, it's National Heart Month. So we did a fundraiser for that. And then we also did a breast cancer awareness. I did a webinar with a nonprofit called BRIM. So yeah.
Wonderful.
And you're covering a lot of things that people need.
Yeah.
And definitely need to heal through their process. And you're right about the support group, because a lot of people do not have support. When it's all said and done, they can't find anybody.
Right.
Right.
And so who do you go to? Can you put that back up, Peg, please? Because I was trying to see what that was. Okay. Got you. So now as you have a university, you should, because a lot of churches don't provide, a lot of organizations do not provide this, especially when you're on a workplace. Thank you, Peg. When you're in a workplace and something happens to a family or loved one, they're not ready to go back to work.
Right. But then imagine, like, when they do go back to work, like, they have anxiety about going back to work. Like people might try to come up to them and hug them, and they, they don't want to be hugged. They don't want to be touched. People may have questions. How did they pass away? And how are you doing? And just saying all these things that are really not helpful. And so if people had the education of what to say, what's helpful, or just how to support, the employees and even the staff, right? Things could go a lot smoother. And so that's where I want to come in, and I want to educate these organizations and these agencies, because that happens everywhere, and it will all unfortunately happen to us, but if people can be supported with that education piece, I believe it'll be helpful.
Do you find that certain jobs, excuse me a second, Lynn, do you find that some jobs have bereavement policies for the employees that they go out during any time of losing a family? I know they have some particular organizations, but I didn't know if that was something.
I remember back in the day, it was like they gave you 3 days of 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah. It's literally.
And that's just to attend the funeral. That's just so that you can go and travel and attend. That doesn't really lend to your healing.
There you go.
That's what. And that is for immediate family member. Don't let it be a friend. Don't let it be a distant cousin. Then it's one day. It is really tough, because even like when it comes to having children, you get, how long is maternity leave?
Right.
A month?
It's a month.
At least a month.
Right. And for bereavement for bereavement leave, it's 1 day, non-immediate, and 3 to 5 days for immediate. So.
And grief is a part of trauma. That is one of the emotional portals, if you will, to what's happening when someone has been traumatized, and that grief going, like she said, going through those stages and that cycle. But one of the things I want to share is that we say the saying all the time, you only live once. And I want to say that's not true. You live every single day, but you only die once.
Yes. Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. Let me write that down, because I've been taking notes. I was on the back room. I was taking my notes.
Are there certain what is it that we should not say to a person who is grieving? We all are lost for words. This time. So what would you, what in your ministry of what you're doing, what do you hear, and what is it we should not say that you think would help us, especially young people?
Mm-hmm. How are you? How do you think I'm doing? I know how you feel. How did they pass away? Let me know if you need anything. If you guys have ever experienced grief, you're all over the place. You don't know what you need. You just
don't know what, and you don't know what to say. That's my biggest. You don't know what to say. So it's like, okay, instead of saying that, what do you recommend that we say? Or ask.
Yeah, so people also, they bring God into it. God knows best, and it was just their time, and just things that people don't realize is really insensitive, and nobody really wants to hear that anyway. So some better things that you can say is, what can I do for you? Or you can offer to do things like, let me come and do your laundry, or do you mind if I bring you a meal, or I cook for you? Just offering suggestions instead of asking them, what can I do? Offer. What else can you do? I'm trying to think of.
You're actually answering right there, Ebony. It's not what we say, it's what we do.
Right.
It's not what we say, it's what we do. And Ungun, we actually have trauma boxes of those who have lost, specifically to gun violence, but just in general, a loss. Still the grief is the same. And so we want to make, so it's mainly like self-care boxes, if you will, Linda, to what we give, because sometimes the words don't land. But it's being able to be of service. It's being able to gift them with something that they're not even thinking about in that moment.
Yes.
So you're opening up a box and you have an eye mask to kind of like block out the light to help you sleep, because you're going to have moments where you can't really sleep. You have a journal to help you to get your hurt and pain out of your body and to being able to speak today. You have a ungun pen and different things like that. And so, Ebony, I would like to talk to you offline, if you will, and maybe we can help to build those boxes specifically for your organization, so that you will have those in this time of grief. And because we're here to help our people in general, no matter where you are and what you're going through. It doesn't, like she said, how does it matter how the person died? The loss is still there.
Still the same.
Yeah, it's still the same. So we just want to make sure that we can help our individuals get through this grief process, so that, again, hurt people won't continue to hurt people, but they can heal and help to heal others around them.
Yeah, because losing a loved one is not like losing a job.
No, it's not.
You get another job, another
Right.
position, but you can't. And it's the grief and of going through the pain of it is not the same.
Right.
So you have to understand, people take what they go through very hard, but how do you move on?
Right.
And what is the time? It's like, what is the time? I mean, everybody's time is different. Oh, you should be okay within so many days. You don't know.
No.
It doesn't have a time limit on it.
Yeah.
You just
And
know
sometimes
how to
the
move
best
forward.
thing to say is nothing at all. A lot of times people end up saying, like I said, insensitive things or the wrong things, because they're trying to just say something. But people have to understand, like, we're not meant to be fixed, and just by you listening, sometimes that means everything. Like, sometimes people just want somebody to listen, or even if it's just silence, just you being there and not saying anything is enough. So
Wow. Well, this has been some good conversation, and Peggy, we have to have her come back on again. We thank you. Is there any way that we can communicate with you? Social media, phone number? As we got a few minutes left in the show.
Yes. And so I am on Facebook and Instagram at Can I Grieve. My website is canigrieve.org. Those are the only platforms. Oh, I do have a YouTube channel as well. I think it's on the last slide I sent you, Peggy.
Yeah, I can't pull it up. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
So that's why I pulled this one up. So at least if they see
Can I Grieve?
University.
Can I Grieve University? Okay. Yeah, but this is good information. We thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Again, I think this is something that is definitely a session within itself.
Yeah.
Because this is a part of what we do in helping the community. We have a sister within our organization right now. Our sister passed away. She just buried her, I think, Wednesday. And, we've been dealing with that within so when we have an organization such as a sister organization, we're sisters in that regard, and we support them. And they don't even have that.
Right.
People don't have what we have. We lean on people who can be there like this.
Right.
And we've had so many other sisters that have transitioned out, from this earth realm, but we were there for their family.
Yeah.
And so Sister for Sisters network is really a network.
Right.
And so I think you should be a part of this network. That's what I'm getting to say.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many sisters that need you as well as an ungun. They need this. Yes. So
true. Why? So true. And I want to say I salute Terry Tabor, who just again lost her sister.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful sight when you show up to support our sisters and you look around the room and you see so many of our sisters in the room to support. Everybody can't be there, but the love that was shared in that room was amazing.
I'm sure.
You all showed up for one.
Yeah. So that's the thing that, again, I said it's a session itself of being a part of something, and we have you on board to communicate with, because everybody doesn't go to church.
Right.
Everybody doesn't have a counselor or therapy session of a therapist to go to,
Sure.
So it's always good to have someone like you that they can pick up a phone and call and talk to. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
So thank you. Yay.
Thank you, Ebony.
Take care, Ebony. We hope definitely we'll see you again and we'll be talking soon. Okay. We salute you. We salute all the sisters that come on here.
Bye,
Yeah.
Eb.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So great session. That was good.
Ooh.
So Dr. Marty.
Yeah.
Yay. We always love to have you, girlfriend.
Marty, you on pop? You look. I don't care what they say about you, but you show up every time, honey, at the right time.
At the right time.
That's important. That's
with
important.
the right information.
With the right information. Yes.
Love it. I
And
love
you build a
being
relationship. You know, you don't have to be next door.
No.
You don't have to be around the corner.
That's right.
You just need to be in the room on the conversation, right?
She don't have to be in the same city. She's here.
You know, I flew in from California to get back to St. Louis so I can connect with you all right there in the DMV. So I mean, this is
thank
awesome.
you so much, girl.
How do you what do you all call it when you putting all of it together? Baltimore and DC.